Hi, I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Fredrick, Colorado. Today I'm going to be showing you a brand new Newmar Ventana. This is the 4369 floor plan, my favorite and a customer favorite for many years. You'll see why as we get to some of the really great features in here, including the back bathroom, which is a showstopper. This coach actually was equipped though for extra sleeping and extra seating. So if you have a large family or you like to take a lot of people along, this is a great coach for you. I counted up and we actually have sleeping for at least 6 people in here. We have seat belts for 9. So lots of people can come along if you want to have a good time. Bring in all your friends and family. This is a great coach for you. Also, all of the great amenities that normally a Newmar coach would have were all electric, no propane to mess with on here. We've got a 400 horsepower Cummins engine built on a Freightliner chassis. We have 15,000 pounds of towing capacity as well. So a very well equipped, very well insulated coach. We'll talk a little bit about the quality of a Newmar. This is not your average RV or camper. Newmar makes a residential build, meaning that it's very well insulated. It's built with little aspects that make it last over the years. So you can have this coach 10, 20 years. It'll still be in excellent shape. I'm not saying that nothing's ever going to break. I am saying that it's built to be put through an earthquake every day as you're going down the road, is what we say. It's going down rough roads, it's going down just a lot of shaking and moving as motorhomes do. And this is built to last that. We get all the brands traded in here. So I've gotten to see firsthand what they look like after 1, 2, 3 years, even after a month. Sometimes we get trade-ins of other brands. And usually the issue is ride quality, cabinets falling out, things like that, that just you don't see when they're new on the lot. You see them after you use them for a little bit. The quality issues are things that you don't necessarily see. You don't feel the leather feeling different, or you don't feel the structure feeling different, but you know the difference when you do own a Newmar. We'll look at the structure underneath that makes it not bend and twist as it goes down the road. That's going to help with the integrity of your cabinetry, the integrity of your tiles. Newmar does put porcelain tile in here, so these are real tiles. In other brands that have real tile, you'll see that they're cracked and popping out, and that has to do with the underneath structure as you're going down the road. So enough about talking. Let's take a look around this coach and you can see just a quick overview, and then we'll get into the details. So one of the things you'll notice is how very quiet it is in here. This is our location is right off of I-25, which is the main interstate in Colorado. We're close to Denver. When I closed that front door, the sound in here got much quieter. That has to do with dual pane windows. It has to do with insulation, not only in the walls of the coach and on the roof of this coach, but also underneath the floor. Newmar also does insulation underneath the basement doors. So very, very well insulated. And again, things that you don't necessarily see when you're on the lot, but you'll know about later. I don't have any generator or engine running right now. So this is just the coach as it would be boondocking. We'll turn the engine on a little bit later and you'll see how quiet that is too. It's really awesome. So let's get started on the living area here. We have your driver and passenger seat will both turn around. I did just want to show you what that looks like to have the passenger seat turned around. This does have a powered recliner. And the reason that this is fun is that if you wanted to have a social sitting area, this just makes another couple of great little seats here. So I can sit here and visit with my friends and family that are on the couch. Also in the driver's seat, it does the exact same thing. The only thing it doesn't have is this table that folds out for the passenger. And that's because it would get in the way when driving, things like that. but it's kind of a convenient little thing for the passenger to be able to work on their laptop or have a little drink here and do whatever you're going to do while the driver is going down the road. Obviously, we don't want the driver doing any of those things, so he doesn't get a table, or she. Let me just put this back down, and then we can keep looking. There are so many buttons on these things. Sometimes I have to take a peek just to see which one I'm pushing. And then when it's time to travel, this just turns right back around. And then locks into place. So that's that. Directly above, you'll see there is another difference here, and that is that there's a drop-down bed above. So when you need more sleeping, this is going to be a very easy to deploy bed, and it's actually quite a good size. It's wider than a twin, but it's long enough that definitely an adult could sleep there. I would say 2 adults could fit there, but probably best for 2 kids or 1 adult. Underneath here we have your ladder stored so that when it's time to get up in here, it's going to be easier for you, and that hooks right here. And then when it's time to hit the road, you just push this button up again, and that will go away and out of sight. Don't have to worry about changing the sheets or any of that. There's room for it up there. And there you're ready to go. So here we have a jackknife sofa. What that means, it's basically a futon. It just lays down when it's time to sleep. This is just going to lay flat down. So lengthwise is how you're going to sleep here. And then we have your sofa here, and this is a sofa sleeper. So this folds out this way also. So you can actually sleep 2 full-size adults here and sleep a couple or 1 or 2 people on that side too. The other cool thing, when these are deployed, you can walk through, so you can get to the bathroom if you need to. There's going to be plenty of room for that. Excuse me. And directly across, you'll see that we have a TV. Now that is on a lift, so that when you're done watching it, you can just put it away. Oops, pushed it too many times. And then you can have a really nice view out of your window. These windows do open in this coach out, so you can get a good cross breeze going while it's raining or there's any inclement weather. These just twist out. Let's see. Here we go. Sometimes they get sticky when they've been sitting outside, but this is how those open. They are slightly tinted, so that's going to help with heat, things like that. But it's nice that you can get the breeze in here without having to worry about the rain coming in. So those are all throughout this coach. And then we have the day and night shades here. So the day one is behind here. And these are just MCD shades, so they roll down really easily and then go right back up. And then the darkening all the way around as well. Now above here we have some storage. Now this up here is blocked off for insulation purposes. So better to have the insulation than the storage in this particular case. But it's nice to know that that's full of insulation for you. We do have a Bose soundbar up there. And this is your audio-visual cabinet. That's why it's glass here rather than wood. That's so that the remote control signals can get through here to whatever you have back here, DVD player or satellite dish, whatever it is. And then on the opposite side, we do have some more storage. The only thing really to note here, we've got these really great hinges that stand the test of time. So these hinges up here and the shocks here really make for a well-built cabinet. But also in all of the cabinets in here, you'll see that we have this felt carpeting up here. That's going to help with sound, vibration, shifting, things like that. One of those things you don't really see, but it's really nice to have it once you're in the coach and packed up. All right, moving back, we have your booth dinette here. This is a very unusual setup for a Newmar. Normally they do an extending table that you pull out. This one does not do that. This is more of a traditional RV camper style table that drops down and will become another bed. So again, like I said, there's plenty of places for people to sleep in here. We do have a seat belt here and then some storage on both sides. So 2 sides of storage here, and it actually pulls out farther. I'm just in the way. So that's that. And then we're into the kitchen area. We have an exhaust fan here in case there's any smoke, steam, or it's just hot in the coach and you want to air it out quickly. That's going to do a great job at that. You'll see the countertop is pulled out right now, and this is a solid surface, so it's really nice and durable, and it looks great. It doesn't look cheap at all. And then we have these really nice drawers. Newmar does an excellent job with cabinetry. 60% of their workforce is Mennonite and Amish. So they really believe in hand craftsmanship and making things high quality. So you can see they do a lot of these components by hand, and that's part of why they're such an excellent brand. Up here we have a place to put some spices. And this is a huge convection microwave oven. Convection means you can bake in it, but this also has an air fry feature that was recently added, so one less appliance you need to bring on the road. And really good size in here. Down here we have your induction cooktop, and this is very special. Not because of the cooktop itself, but because Newmar has designed it so that it can be taken out. Every other brand that I've seen has just this piece sitting in the countertop. It's integrated. You can't take it out. Problem with that is, one, is it's exposed all the time. So if you have a pan that you're using and you kind of do that, you're going to crack it. This is a glass cooktop. So having it covered up is a really great protection. But the other thing is that you can take this outside and cook outside with this. Just plug it in one of your basement doors. There's lots of little 110s down there, and you can cook outside. So really great feature. Makes it a little bit more of a flexible thing. And then the covers actually have cutting boards on the opposite side. So integrated there. One less thing to bring, which I love. We do underneath have some lights. We also have 110 outlets that are hidden. So I like that they do that just so they look a little bit nicer, but we've got one right here as well. Down here we've got a really great, probably utensil drawer. And that is where they store, excuse me, the remotes for when you get started, some touch-up paint, things like that. Little parts that you're going to need here and there. And then here we have a dishwasher. Now, some people think that is just silly to have a dishwasher in here. You know what? I think it's not going to open because I don't have the inverter on. Excuse me, but it makes a great storage place for the bigger pots and pans if you don't want to use it, but it's also a lot more water efficient than doing it by hand in a motorhome. It hardly uses any water, hardly uses any power. So it's actually great storage and a better way to do dishes when you're trying to conserve water. Up here, more storage. We have your book of manuals hidden up here. An adjustable shelf, which I just adjusted accidentally. Sorry about that. And then we have this nice little pull-out drawer here. Gosh, I hate it when I do these things live. There we go. Get it back where it's supposed to go. And then this does pull out for you. Got another little storage cabinet here and a really great junk drawer here. This is where all your pens and papers and paper clips and rubber bands are going to go, I'm sure, or spices if you're more organized than me. Down here we got a little place for your scrubbies, and under here trash and other things that you need in a kitchen area. And a really sleek looking faucet that actually has a really nice sprayer on it so you can get your sink real nice and clean. Your sink covers are, again, that Corian solid surface material. And then we have a double stainless steel sink here. I can't imagine anything that you would need in this coach besides what it has. It really is so well equipped. Directly across here, we have a residential Whirlpool refrigerator. It has water in the door here. A water filter built in there. And down here we have your freezer with ice maker. The ice maker drops into there. And one of my favorite things Newmar does is they put this integrated lock in here. So when it's time to go down the road, you simply slide that over, and that's going to keep these from flying open when you're going around corners too fast. It's really a great safety mechanism there. Down here we have a really good sized pantry, and these are adjustable shelves. You can change the height of these, but they lock into place. And when you push on them, that releases that lock. Push it in again and it locks it. So again, we don't want stuff flying around when we're driving. That's going to be not only messy, but it can startle the driver and make it an unsafe situation. So love that Newmar thinks of these extra things. Now in this hallway area, we have a central vacuum. This is where you would attach hoses for that central vacuum, and the hoses are included. We'll see those as we get to the basement area. And then on this side, we have a sweeping plate or a kick plate. You just sweep to that area and it'll suck all the debris away very easily. Here we have the control for our fantastic vent. This is a temperature sensor right here. People always want to know what that is. Is it a security camera? No, it's just seeing if it's too hot or too cold. And then we have this really great touchscreen here of basically all the guts of the coach. So all the lights can be turned on, all the lights off. You can check your tank levels, fresh, gray, black. How are my batteries doing? I can turn my water pump on and off. Autofill if I happen to be at a place that I can put water in here. Then I have the auto gen start function. You can set that according to a time of day or how much power you have available. If you need your air conditioning to come on, if it gets to a certain temperature, it will know that when you program this in and get your generator started. We also have floor heat, so 3 different zones, front, mid, and back. That tile floor can be kind of cold first thing in the morning, so turning that floor heat on is going to be a quick way to get some heat in the coach and not freeze your little toes off. And then here we have your HVAC system. So 3 zones, 3 air conditioners with heat pumps here. We do have a furnace that is powered by your Oasis. Your Oasis also is going to be your tankless water heater. So it provides a moist heat to the coach, more like an old radiator in those old houses that we used to see. It's going to be more like that, but it's also going to give basically instant hot. It's not exactly instant, but it's very quick hot, and it's as much water as you have will be hot. So again, 3 zones there, and we can change those just for fan, for our heat pump, air conditioning, etc. We can Bluetooth to this screen, so we can do all the things that this screen can do on our phone. The reason that that is handy isn't because you're too lazy to get up from the front area. It's because if you are out of town or something, you need to start the generator for some reason, like it's very, very cold where the coach is sitting and you thought you'd be back sooner. You want to keep this from freezing. You might want to turn this, your Oasis on while you're out of town. Make sure you don't freeze anything in there, or you're on a hike for too long and you think, oh no, my puppies are going to get too hot. You can also handle that there. Or, oh gosh, I forgot to turn the lights off. That's another reason that that would be helpful to have that Bluetooth there. So it's really nice to have all of these extra things in here just for safeguard, so that you don't have to have worries while you're out on the road. Now this here is going to be your half bath. The reason that you would have a half bath, there's a few reasons. 1, for guests. 2, for when your slides are in, then it would be very difficult to get to your back bathroom. You would have to actually climb over this king size bed that we're going to see in a moment here. So Some people also like to, the husband takes one and the wife takes the other, just for streamlining sake in the mornings. But it's really nice to actually have this extra half bath. It does have some great storage and another exhaust fan. So get a quick peek of there. A really nice medicine cabinet, beautiful bowl sink. And then we are at the master suite. So this has a really great divider door for privacy, soundproofing, things like that. And that will lock into place when it's all the way deployed, or back when it's back where it's supposed to go. There's no Velcro straps or bungees holding this in place. It actually has the mechanism integrated there, which is another just really nice residential touch, where some of them I see they've got tape and stuff stuck all over the place to keep the doors in place and on the refrigerator and things like that. And it just looks cheap. Let's just say cheap. Okay, moving into this master bedroom area, we do have a king size rounded corner bed. In a lot of RVs, they'll say it's king size, but it's really not. It's much shorter. This is actually a king size bed. The only difference is these rounded corners, and that's so it's easier for you to get to the sides to make the bed and to get into this bathroom area. Underneath this bed, we have a really easy to access storage area. Partly because of those shocks, they make it really easy to lift and put down. We also have stored here the piece that makes the booth dinette into a bed. So you could leave that at home if you're not planning to use it, but it is included just in case. Now, on either side of the bed, we have opening windows so we can get cross breeze in here. And then we've got storage all the way through here with that carpet felt up there. I'm only going to show you this side of the bed because it's mirrored on both sides. So we do have 110 outlet there that can be reached by either side of the bed. And then we have ports on either side here for sleep apnea tubing or just cords that need to go through here. There's a pass through here. Then we of course have reading lights on either side. We also have a touch screen under here that's going to turn off your dresser lights, your right hand reading, left hand reading, your courtesy lights, which are on the floor through the coach. So if you have to get up in the middle of the night, you're going to want to turn your courtesy lights on. You also have a backlighting switch here. You may not be able to see, but this glows a little bit blue. So at the middle of the night, you might not want that going, and you can turn that completely off. And then you can also push a button that turns all the lights off in the bedroom. We also have security lights for outside of the coach. So if you forget, oh gosh, I forgot to turn these security lights on, you can do that right here from bed. Very convenient. Now on the sides of the bed, we have the ability to bring the speakers from the front to the back area here. It's like a surround sound kind of a situation. We have 110 and USB port here and on the other side, and a little storage space right there. And directly across from the bed, we have our hanging shirt closets. These are really nicely lit. Now this side is mirrored to that side with the exception of this cabinet right here. This is another one of those audio-visual cabinets that has the glass front. That's so that your remote can be read through there. But otherwise, we have these really nice drawers, and they are really deep. Like, that is a deep drawer. I wouldn't be able to find my socks in there, it's so deep. And then over here, some smaller drawers. You do have an emergency exit window here, but you're gonna see as we get to the back bathroom, there's an emergency exit door that's a lot easier to get out of in case of an emergency. Another shirt closet. And some more dresser drawers down here. And this one comes out a little farther to clear this shirt closet here. All right, now going into the back bathroom, we have another privacy door here that's hidden away pocket door. Then we have your washer and dryer stackable here. Really convenient when you're on the road. I have so many customers say, well, that's just ridiculous. That's so silly. And then they get a coach with it and they're like, how did I ever live without that? It's funny what we think we need and what we actually might want once we have it. We've got some medicine cabinets here. And these go all the way through. So all the way through to this other one here. Plenty of space for all your toiletries. And they did these really cool looking sinks here. And storage. So I feel like this coach sells so well because of this back bathroom. A lot of people really like the ability to have double sinks, to have a place for all their stuff to store, not just toiletries. This closet is incredible, actually. And you can't even see the full glory of it until you stick your head in it, actually, because it goes all the way back to either side. So as wide as the coach is, that's going to go all that way. Of course, those shelves are adjustable or removable, so if you need more full hanging space, you've got room for that. Another access to that area. And then back here we have that emergency exit that I was talking about. So in the case of some kind of emergency, this is going to be your easy way out. You're not going to have to squeeze backwards through a window. This actually has a ladder that comes out. If you choose to deploy it, you can see it there. It's Velcroed in. You just release it and knock it down and it'll go right down. Looks sleek in the meantime, but just knowing that that's there is a really great feature. We do have a window here that will be ventilated, and of course those same roller shades throughout this whole coach. So the day nights are here. Then we have a porcelain toilet, and it is a macerator toilet with an electric flush there. Back here we have this ginormous shower. And I mean, it's a shower. Yeah, you got a rain head, you got a nice sprayer here. There's two outstanding things in here that I'm going to point out. One is this AquaView water miser system. So what that does is it recirculates the water until it's at your said heat. So you're going to adjust this to, I like it this hot or that hot or however you like it. This is going to be turned off. When that light comes on, that's saying it's warmed up, it's ready. So you're not just letting the water go down the drain and get wasted. And then you just turn this on and the water will come out of those shower heads. So really, really nice feature if you're trying to save water, especially if you're boondocking, that's going to be really handy. Here we have a fold down teak shower seat. Now I've had people ask, can I add that later? And no, you can't, because they have to put extra structure in this wall behind the shower to be able to support weight here. So it's nice that this was already added and you don't have to have a bulky step thing that you've added after market. Really nice to have that. We also have a really nice sunroof there. For those taller folks, they can comfortably shower. Not that they couldn't anyway, but that just gives you a little bit more headspace and some light in here. So love that. And then of course, they've integrated a lock on here. So this again, won't fly open when you're going down the road. It's also magnetic, so that helps too. I'm going to start putting slides in so you can see what the coach is like when it's in travel mode. And the first slide is going to be this bed. For those of you who don't know, Newmar invented the slide out for motor homes. There were trailers that had them, but motorhomes didn't have any slide outs until Newmar came along. And they did something very innovative. Rather than using kind of a zip line or a pulley system, they chose to use a cog wheel system. So there is a very large, well, several of them, steel cog wheels in here, just like a cog wheel train would use to get those trains up and down the mountain passes. We have those here in Colorado, and they are stout, but I have one of them on my desk. It's about that big and about that thick, heavy steel to get these slides in and out. They fail it's very rare that you would have an issue, and usually that would be a user error type of a situation, like you got something stuck in the slide that you forgot to move. Otherwise, they're extremely reliable. All right, now this is a full wall slide. If you can see all the way back, it goes all the way to that back bathroom, stops where that mirror is. So this is a good size slide, and these cog wheels can handle it. Newmar also integrates the slide lock, so you don't have to put, in some coaches you'll see they have these rods that you kind of put up above the slide to keep it from rattling when you're going down the road. This does not need that, and it's a lot better system because sometimes people forget to take those rods out and then you break your slide. Okay, I'm going to move this seat forward just a little bit so I don't hurt this slide. Something you always need to be conscious of in a motorhome is when your slides are going in and out, do they have enough clearance? One quick thing on the ceiling here, you'll notice we don't have any air conditioner units or vents exposed. That's because Newmar does a beautiful decorative ceiling feature, and that is where your air conditioner is housed, as well as all the venting for it. One great thing about that is that the air conditioning is coming out of the middle of the coach. So when your slides are in, it's not going where those slides are and being useless. It's actually coming direct down and cooling this whole area. So if you have guests back here, they can be comfortable as well going down the road. It of course makes it a much prettier thing to look at, but it's also practical in that this comes down and you can just rinse the filters out. You don't have to swap out a filter. But right now, look how much room we have here. I can walk through this coach very easily and get to this back bathroom. Really cool pivoting door to make it easy for me to be able to get in when we're in travel mode. Let's unlock that. I can also get into the refrigerator. So really great design. You can't get through all coaches this easily. Sometimes you actually have to get up on the couch to get through here. So nice design here. Comfortable for all your passengers. Now up in this front cab area, again, we're on a Freightliner chassis, which we are big fans of here at Transwest. They're a very easy company to work with to get warranty work done if needed. They're very quick to respond. And I really like the way that they design their chassis. One of the main reasons that I like the way they've designed it is they've moved the transmission to here on the column rather than over here on the side. Forever, motorhomes had them over here, which meant if you needed to change to reverse, neutral, etc., you would have to turn your head away from what you're doing here to look at what you're going to push. That to me is not very safe, whereas this, it's just a flip of the switch. I'll do that real quick. Put it in reverse, put it in neutral, drive. We also can do manual and automatic right here by pushing this in. Engine brake is integrated right here. We've got high, medium, low, so it's just like that. And then we of course have your regular vehicle push buttons here, your phone answering, your radio controls. You also can control what you're looking at here, tire pressure monitor. Let's see what else we've got here. Steering effort is a big one. That's your comfort drive steering. For those of you who don't know what that is, please look it up. It actually makes driving so much more comfortable. A lot less effort has to be put in by the driver to steer around, especially when there are divots in the road, or if it's a particularly windy day. When semis pass by you, you don't feel your coach being pushed over. The coach actually handles all that stuff for you because of this steering effort. Now, this is one of very, very few brands that include this. So you can drive some of the other very high-end or top-named coaches, and they're much more difficult to drive than a Newmar is because of that one feature right there. You could look at fuel economy, change your mobile eye. That's the distance of the coach in front of you is keeping an eye on for cruise control's sake. So just another helpful thing. And then we can change all of these things that you're looking at here. So if you don't want to keep an eye on your airbag levels, you can change those out for something that you'd rather keep an eye on. This is completely customizable as a front screen. So another great thing about this. Real quick, we'll go around here. We have an integrated hydraulic jack system here, very easy to use. Power, auto level when you need to level, power, all retract when you're ready to go. We have tag dump, auto, disable, and manual there. You really need to, you can just leave it in auto all the time and it'll handle it for you. Some people that have had coaches forever before they auto dumped like to have the manual feature so that they can have more control there. We also have air horn on and off. So you can choose if you are somewhere that you need to be a little quieter, like in an RV park, but you need to use your horn. You can use your little horn, or you can use your big horn when you're out on the freeway. And that's using, of course, the air system that holds this coach up. Your light controls here, we have powered side mirrors and heat for those mirrors. We also can jump the coach using the batteries from the house, or jump the house batteries by using the chassis batteries there. So that's a really great feature if one of them happens to be going really low. And then of course they'll be recharging when you're plugged in, your generator is running, or you're going down the road. Here we have your navigation, your entertainment screens. Let's see what else we've got on here. You can Bluetooth to here and control your cameras. Now I have this one set up to be on all the time as my backup, and the reason that you would do that is if you had a tow vehicle you wanted to keep an eye on, or if you just want to see if people are kind of riding on the back of you and you need to go a little faster or get out of the way. It's nice to be able to see that view. When you do turn your turn signals on though, it'll swap over to the left or right accordingly. And then here we have your visor and shade for this front area. And again, you don't really need to look away for these, which I think is great. When you're going down the road, you don't want to be taking your focus off the road. So you know, these are my first two buttons. If I need the full darkening, I go there. And these will go 100% down when the coach is turned off. They won't do it when I have the ignition on because that's a safety problem. We also have overhead fans here. Those are great for defrosting. Also, if you're just really hot, it's a hot day, lots of sun coming through here, you can turn those on. High, medium, low as well. And you can start your generator here. Front fan, high, medium, low. That actually, I said that wrong. That's actually for the Oasis heat. If you had that running, you could have it coming through these bottom vents here. Entry, lock, and unlock. And then we've got some storage here. Very important to have cup holders. I can't even buy something without cup holders. It just drives me crazy. But there's that. Now we already went over how these seats have power and turnaround and things like that. The other things you have here, you have 110 and USB outlet. We also have a phone station, a charger here. Step cover is actually a piece that comes across this front to cover it up. So there's not a hole in the floor. You can use that during travel mode, so this person just feels a little bit more solid. Or you can use it when you're using this as a home so that, you know, you don't trip or your dog doesn't fall down there. We also have map lights on both sides here and a patio light that we can turn on there. Cup holder. Right here we have your battery disconnect button, and that's helpful for when you're leaving the coach and you're not going to use it for a while. You can just bump that. You don't have to go through and turn individual lights off. You can just quickly do that. And then here we have an unlock and lock button for the outside bay doors. So I'm going to do that real quick, but I wanted to show you the screen door here. You can see does not have a screen in it. It's tucked away, and this is so great for when you're traveling. You can actually see the view a lot more clearly. It's a lot safer for the driver as well when they want to look over this way. But when you do need to use this as a screen door, you can just lock this into place down here and it'll keep the bugs out. So I have automatic steps that just came out because I opened the door. And Newmar does a really solid door. So this door, you kind of have to pull on it to get it to come back in. And the reason for that is if it's windy, you don't want that coming in on you. And I've had that happen with other brands where they just slam into you. Not fun. The other thing here real quick is we have storage under these steps. So really well thought out. This one is huge because it goes all the way down to the bottom. I don't know if you can get a picture of that, but lots of places to put shoes and leashes and umbrellas and things like that. You'll see that we have a door awning right here, and that can be deployed without putting out the main awnings. Say it's raining out and you just want to bring your groceries in, you can just put that one out and have that ready for you. Here we have a programmable door code that will get you into this front door with a code, and it can also get you into your basement doors with a different code. So you can have two different codes, just making sure that nobody's sneaking your stuff out of the other side when you don't want them to, things like that. You also have a doorbell feature here. Because this coach is so well insulated, you will not hear if someone's knocking on your door. So that's why you've got that there. Michelin tires all the way around. These are 315s, 22.5s, really big, nice tire, makes your ride even a little bit better. And we always recommend that once you get your coach loaded, you get it weighed and adjust those tire pressures accordingly. That's going to give you a lot nicer ride. When these arrive on our lot, they're at 100% capacity, and that's for fuel efficiency for the company. But once you take it, you're going to want it to ride real smooth and nice, and that's going to make a big difference for you. So just a side note, you can see I've put out our Girard Nova awnings. And what makes them a Girard Nova? Girard's the brand, but Nova is these, they come out and then they drop down. It's a really, really great place to hang out. You can be out here and it'll keep you cool, and it's just a really beautiful aesthetic look. Now they do have integrated LED light strips through them. You can't really see them in the daytime, but it's beautiful at night under here. A really great place to be social and hang out with your friends or have a little campfire or cook with your induction cooktop. This is one of your diesel fuel fills. We have them on both sides of the coach, so you can fill both at the same time and save you time at the pump. And our first bay door, you'll see again, we've got that really great carpeting going on. This might be a good place for you to see the insulation I was talking about too. So we have almost 3 inches of insulation under the floor of this. That is something you're not going to find in other coaches. It's going to keep noise down, heat out or cool in or whatever, vice versa. Just keeping this right how you want it. The other thing, it's very, I'm going to have to explain it rather than showing it, but this piece right here is where the insulation starts for the floor. So the floor is quite a bit above where this bottom piece is, and there's insulation under there and things to help that keep insulated into the house portion as well. Now moving on to our second bay, this one actually goes all the way through to the other side of the coach, You can choose to put a tray in here if you wanted a slide out tray. We can do that for you very easily. The other thing I wanted you to see is I was talking about the structural integrity here. This is our chassis rail. So Newmar does not put your floor on your chassis rail. That's a big deal if you're thinking about vibration, twist, things breaking up in the coach. That's one of the reasons. The other reasons are that they have built this, they call it a star foundation, but they have welded extra pieces onto the foundation that makes this box. So here, across here, down here, and then an angled one here. That's going to keep your chassis from twisting and bending. So Newmar adds all of this part onto your chassis rail, and it makes this thing last forever. The ride is a lot better as well. One of those things you probably should come and check out if you're thinking about buying a motorhome. Drive 2 different brands. Drive the Newmar, drive whatever the other ones are that you're considering, and notice there's going to be a huge difference. They really are built so well. All right, outdoor TV. So we have a Samsung flat screen TV, we have a Bose soundbar, we have the ability to make this play what's going on at the dash radio. You can also Bluetooth to it or hook up whatever it is you want to hook up. This also comes out, it tilts down. Let's see if I can get it to do it. I'm kind of a shorty, so sometimes it's hard for me. Oh, there's a lock to release, so I actually can't reach it. I'm not big enough, but someday I'll be a big girl. This also has a lock on it that's separate, so you can make sure that nobody steals that. Another full pass-through storage bay. Again, there could be a tray in there if you wanted to put one in there, and that would make it easier to get to things on the inside or the very middle of the coach. This one actually has a slide out tray, but it does not go all the way through. Our tankless water heater is on the other side there, so it can't be a full one, but you can see how well these work. They really help you get to this middle stuff. We have extra tiles here in case you were to ever break one in there. You can replace it with the exact match. And then we have your vacuum cleaner components here, the hoses and things like that. The vacuum itself is right there. And the cool thing about that is you can actually plug in these hoses to that and vacuum your basement as well. But that's where you're going to change out your vacuum bags. You also notice we have a 110 in here. They are sprinkled throughout. I often forget to point them out, but just know that they're there. Newmar definitely thinks of those things. So, this is a really nice full body paint. Newmar does an excellent job. I don't see these getting crackly or fading in the sun. They use a high-end sports car paint, BASF if you're interested, but it really is durable, stands the test of time, and they do just a really nice job on them. Now behind this pegboard we have your freshwater tank. Rather than just showing you the back of a tank, they actually made it useful. So if you're wondering, why don't I get a full bay? It's because that's where your water tank is, but at least they gave you some space to hang tools or keep extra fluids, things like that. We have a steerable tag here. That means that second set of tires, it's going to follow you when you're turning and going down the road. It's going to make your turning radius a lot better. It's also going to make your ride a lot better to have this tag situation here. These ride great, and you're able to carry a lot with you without it being a problem. Back here we have your engine starting batteries. We also have your chassis disconnect right there. So if you're gonna leave this parked for a long time and not use it, you're gonna want to flip that switch off so you're not draining those engine batteries. Beautiful back end here. Again, 400 horsepower. It's the XCR chassis, Freightliner. We have ultra steer on here. backup cameras housed up there. Here we have your rear radiator. But they made it so that you can access things that you really need to, your engine oil, your transmission fluid. You also have your air filter right here, so you can check on those things and service what you can. Then we have your 15,000 pound receiver here. We have your 7-way pin for your electrical system if you're towing something, and then we actually have an integrated air line here, so you don't have to pay to have that done later down the road. Oh, also this coach is prepped for solar, so if you're somebody that really wants solar, you've already got all the wiring, the hard part done, so you can just slap those things up there and you're good to go. Little bits of storage back here. You've got your engine block heater there, so if you, it's a very, very cold day, you can get that engine preheated. Another little bay here. I love that they light up. They've got little sensors on them to help with that. This is your DEF tank. About once every third time you fill up your diesel, you're going to need to fill up your DEF. This holds about 13 gallons. And we have a little bin here. Could be used to hold gloves or things like that. It also has a drain in it, so if you needed to rinse it out, it got yucky in there, you can do that. You'll notice that these slides are nice and flush. They're not sticking out. They're sealing really well. Over here we have your water bay. And I love that Newmar etches it into the metal what each thing says. That way over time you don't have faded stickers, you know exactly what's going on there. You have the ability to rinse out your black tank here. You have a whole house water filter that we've taken off because we're winterized right now. So that's ready to go whenever the coach is purchased. We have a brand new filter right there. This is your retractable freshwater supply. What I love about this is that it has a button to rewind that for you. So you don't have to get all messy if it's frozen or dirty, muddy outside. Gray tank's gonna be right here. Gray and black tank dump, rather. And you just pull these and it releases there for you. And then we have an outdoor shower. Over here we have your 50 amp, 50-foot long cord. This is also on a power rewind wheel. Now, if you do not have one of those, I highly recommend them. Again, so much less hassle trying to get this thing in here, especially when it's cold. And trying to get it into a little space, they're not very cooperative. So having this power rewind is very helpful. We have the ability to hook into park cable right there. And then we have a surge protector back here. This is your tankless hot water system and your furnace. So the Oasis, I've been referring it to, it's cleaner burning. It needs less service than the other brand does. So we're a big fan of the Oasis system, but again, it's providing you hot water very, very quickly and heat in the coach. This is just the other side of that full pass-through storage bay. And we've got another one right next to it. And this is going to be your house batteries. We've got 8 of those in there. They are on a slide out tray, but the tray locks in place so that they don't fly out unless you're needing to swap them or service them. Here's the other side of that diesel fuel fill. And then here we have where you can reset your breakers and things like that. Also the ability to get into the front hood, I guess. I call it popping the hood, but it's really where your generator is housed. You'll notice your side cameras are down really low. They're not on the mirrors, and that actually is really great. If you happen to break one of your side view mirrors, you don't have to replace the camera as well. So it's a separate thing. It's also nice and low so you can see animals and children that are close to you. So I like that they do that there. And then again, we have this on shock, so it's really nice. I don't have to worry about it falling on my head. But this is access to my generator here. So we have an Onan diesel. It's a 12,000. We also have your air horns here. We have a hot water line that runs to your generator so you can rinse off your front windshield easily. And fuel filter as well as your windshield wiper fluid up here. So easily accessed. So I think that's about it for this Ventana. This is the 4369. This again, it's a brand new 2024. It's just still here. So we're giving it at a great price. Call me if you need any specs or more information on it, or if you need the price, I'd be happy to get that for you. Again, ask for me by name. I'm Teresa Crawley at Transwest Truck Trailer RV.